Yes, the last big weekend of summer. Not really, though. We still have more heat and fun here in Southern California. This is Home Wizards, and I'm Cindy Dole, where we talk about those indoor and outdoor spaces you call home. With me is Yvonne Savio, who is Horticulturist of the Year and works with the Cooperative Extension Los Angeles, the group called Common Ground. She's also writesforgarden.org. And let's continue our help with Maggie, who's been wondering about growing fruit trees in a kind of a rocky area. So thanks for hanging out there, Maggie. So any more advice for her, Yvonne?
Yeah, just dig your hole, put the tree in, fill it with the soil that you pulled from the hole, and then put on tons of organic matter on top as mulch. You know, water the tree in well, but the tree needs to be, those roots have to be in the native soil, because that's where you want the tree to be pulling all of its nutrients and moisture. All the breakdown of the mulch on top of the soil will help it settle in.
Does that help you, Maggie?
Yeah, it does help. How about the rocks? Do you think I should include the rocks in the soil, like mixed in?
Well, pull the rocks out, but just, you know, the decomposed granite and all that stuff that makes up the soil is going to be where they're going to pull it.
All right, so Maggie, we want to tell you and everyone who's listening that we're doing our best to answer your questions, but hey, they also have a helpline through the group Common Ground, and if you just Google a Cooperative Extension Los Angeles County, you'll get there and it says, want some help with garden questions? You can call in there. Let's go to Judy. Now, Judy, thanks for calling in. You have a question about your zucchini. What's happening with your zucchini, Judy?
Well, it's flowering, and I only get male flowers. The fruit never fruit. The zucchini never. I get flowers but no fruit.
Flowers but no fruit.
Well, if this was early spring, I'd say it is just the male flowers, and it's just kind of priming up to get the female flowers to be coming up and therefore pollinating. It may be that it's just still thinking it's, spring and it hasn't gotten itself together yet. Just wait on it, because that is part of the process, is having the male flowers first and then the females. But, everything has been strange this year, just because it's been so cool for so long. Even my tomatoes, they just haven't been ripening. They've been setting, but they've just been taking forever, and that's why this extreme heat is really promising to get some fruit. So it may be the same even with the classic zucchini overproducing.
Let's go to Shirley, who's calling from Whittier. Shirley, it looks like we're going from edibles now to your roses. What's happening?
What's happening? Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
What's happening is my biggest concern are my rose bushes. I'm taking really good care of them. They're doing well. Once they start to bud, and then even after the buds bloom, I have some kind of critters that are coming. It's usually at night because I don't see them, that are nipping off the blooms and the buds, and all my hard work is for naught. It's either deer. What I've seen in my yard are deer, skunk, or raccoons, and I have no idea. I see squirrels too, but
it's probably the deer.
I don't know how to protect the bushes.
Oh yeah, it's hard because they're big and they come in, and those nice rosebuds are all succulent, and they just go for them. Aside from trying to keep the deer out, which may or may not be an impossible task, that's really what you're dealing with.
Right.
Was it last Saturday? A couple Saturdays ago, we talked with a guy who's all about using nature to deal with nature, and maybe this would help you. Surely, if you go to the website cindydole.com and you can just search that, we talked with him about controlling deer, and it's basically using a type of an onion oil that's really pungent, more so than the onion plant, and he seemed to think that would work.
It might.
Because they don't like the smell.
When I was working up at Davis, it seemed like every week we would have 3 or 4 more suggestions coming from folks. Well, this worked in my yard, and no, that worked 3 weeks ago, but it doesn't work now.
It's some folktale, I'm sure, but
at some point everything works, but it's only good for maybe a week or two until the critter gets used to it. it's kind of like having that owl on your chimney. Because it doesn't move, the critters know that, oh, well, that's not going to be a bother anymore.
The other thing, Shirley, that you might want to try that we have, because we have a pond, we have something, it's a sprinkler, basically, and it's a motion-censored sprinkler, and it just sends out a zap of water. It costs maybe about $100, and you can Google that too, and that might be something just to startle the deer in the late at night, so they stay away from your roses. When we come back, we have one more segment with you, Yvonne, to talk about some more of those to-dos. You're going to give us some ideas on watering in this darn heat, and also bulbs. Now's a good time to be thinking about bulbs. I guess to getting them forced. Fun continues after this. Maybe you're twisted by the pool because it sure is hot enough for it. Welcome back, Cindy Dole. This is Home Wizards. We're here every Saturday, 2 to 4, when we're not twisting by the pool to talk about those spaces that you call home. With me is Yvonne Savio, who is one of the great gardening experts, and we have some websites to give you, first of all. We were just talking about controlling deer, and there's a great website that's the UC Davis site, and it's called the Integrated Pest Management, right, Yvonne?
Right.
And here is the URL. I'll put it up on my site later on, but if you can remember this, it's IP as in Peter, M as in Mary, .ucdavis.edu.
Right.
And there it has everything from the least amount of chemicals to the most amount, you're saying, and even organic, and how to control pests of all kinds. So
right. It's literally integrating all the different possibilities.
Yeah.
Always starting with the least invasive and least toxic.
Yeah.
But it's great because you can come at it from the point of view, you can search from the point of view of the plant or the pest.
Yeah,
and
helpful.
It's pests, diseases, weeds, the
and
whole
UC
shebang.
Davis, you guys know what you're doing at UC Davis. So,
including deer.
Yeah. Well, so a few more moments quickly to talk about our September to-dos. You were saying, of course, watering is a big issue because look at this heat today.
Right. You do want to make sure that you have watered early enough in the day so that the foliage is not wet at sunset. Mm-hmm. Because if it is, fungus problems, diseases take between 2 and 4 hours to settle in. So if you have this heat, plus you have moist foliage, chances are it's going to get something. It's going to develop those diseases over the night. So you want to make sure that you've watered early enough in the day so everything's dry.
And then bulbs. We should be thinking about bulbs how?
Right. Now's the time when bulbs are really showing up in the nurseries. So you do want to get a good selection because the first ones, bigger is better in this case. You do want to get that first choice of all your bulbs. But what you can do is remember that you can put them in the lawn. There are a couple of them that do very well in the lawn because it doesn't matter about chopping off their foliage. Muscari, the little grape hyacinth, are this way. But you can always also buy some of the bulbs to force for winter color so that you have some of the blooms at Thanksgiving or during the holidays.
So you're talking
you would like them.
What, amaryllis? Are you thinking we should buy that now?
Right, amaryllis, crocus, freesias, lily of the valley, paper whites, tulips.
Love paper whites.
Tulips do not belong here. It's a one-timer, so don't even think about trying to have them last. They just don't like it here.
Cool. We'll be doing all that. And let's mention again the websites. You have the Cooperative Extension, Los Angeles County, and then you write for garden.org, and then you have these classes that are going on through Common Ground. And in fact, if people go to the LA County Fair right now for the next how many Saturdays?
It's for the 4 Saturdays and Sundays of the fair. We have master gardeners who love to answer all your questions. They're in the Flower and Garden building. And it's toward the back door there. There's our table. We've been there for some 10 years. And also our Grow LA Victory Garden initiative that we started last April. We're continuing sessions this October. We're in the midst of scheduling them. So only a few of them that are already scheduled are up on our website.
Thank you so much.
There will be more.
We're going to have you back, Yvonne, because obviously we have a lot to talk about and people love getting your questions, getting their questions answered by you. So thanks for being here. And by the way, go to my website. I'll have all these links up there today at cindydole.com. You can always check back, and hope you'll listen to past shows there this weekend. Have a great Labor Day weekend. And coming up next Saturday, the fun continues, right? We're going to talk about how to get that vision like a designer would with this very high-end technology where you can literally drag and drop pieces of furniture and decor to the room of your dreams. It's coming up. Home Wizards next Saturday, 2 to 4. Have a great weekend. Leo, the film freak, is next. And until then, remember, the key's under the mat. Bye-bye.